right, greetings from Newark, Delaware at Iron Hill Disc Golf Course. This is Gatekeeper Media's coverage of the 2022 Birdie Open. This is final round, front nine. I'm Andrew Fish, joined in the booth by Nick Hanson.
Hey, how we doing today, folks?
I'm really excited to watch this. Iron Hill is one of my favorite courses. Nick, we've seen a couple rounds already. What are you looking to see as we go down the stretch?
I think whoever can stay clean the most is going to come out on top today. If you can minimize your kicks by staying in the fairway, I think you're going to have the best opportunity to win.
Yeah, no doubt. It's kind of about not giving strokes back to the course. You see our standings there. Definitely a cluster fighting for podium spots. I'm out in front at 11 down, and then Matt Hammersten, Michael Johansen, and Matt Bell rounding out the lead card. You can see with my bag check, I'm putting roaches, going to be throwing a lot of these slow discs. Iron Hill's going to demand that. Matt Hammersten recently switched to Prodigy this year. He's out of Virginia, so he knows some East Coast woods. He throws D2s, F5s, F7s, distortions quite a bit, and I believe he's putting PA3s.
Up next, we have Michael Johansen. Discraft sponsored. He's putting the Ringer GT. We know we'll see that Comet, and I'm sure we'll see that Scorch out there a bit today. And last on our card will be Matt Bell. Matt Bell is sponsored by ThoughtSpace and EV7, putting the Penrose. He's going to be throwing the Pathfinder, and I'm sure we'll see some Hurricanes and Destroyers out of him today. Yeah,
really interesting mix from Matt, and this is his third straight round on coverage. Previous winner here at Iron Hill. He knows what he's doing.
And here we are, hole one, 625 feet. It's a par 4. Players are going to want to get to about this area and here to then get down this hallway to get all the way down to the green. It is a tough birdie to start, but I think we'll get one or two here out of our lead card.
From Baltimore, Maryland, the city that reds, Andrew Fish.
Big thanks to Bill Yurd. He's among the locals who always comes out to support and volunteer. That's a part of what makes Delaware's community so great.
What are you thinking here on the first tee box?
So I'm going flippy Undertaker. The goal is to start it flat at the left side and then move right the entire way. This is starting a little too left, but it's flippy enough that it kind of works out.
Be in a good spot there to attack. Probably wanted to be further, but
you can't be too picky. Hammer, I think, lines up an M4.
It's looking good there out of the hand.
Yeah, nice drift down the right side.
Denver, North Carolina,
And you can see that even with a mid-range, you go far.
Johansen.
Yeah, it is quite a bit downhill. So the mid-range, if you can get it on that right line, will just glide with the fairway.
Mm-hmm. MJ agrees with that. Comet thrown a little bit low, maybe a touch inside here, but out to a throwable spot. He'll have another Anheuser to the green. And Matt going to go with a much faster disc. The thinking being, if you hit it right, it's going to go way down there. And as far left as he started that, I'm very impressed to see that.
Yeah, he got back. He's lined up nice with that gap.
MJ breaks out an Undertaker forehand. Not known for that, but certainly has the technical skill to pull it off. Up to about circle 2.
Great upshot there by yourself. Inside circle one, it looks like.
Yeah, absolutely. Pretty thrilled with that. And I'm interested to see that Hammer, who's mostly a backhand player, goes to the forehand here. Flat out of the hand, pushes it deep into the gap, and runs to circle one as well. Matt plays a hyzer flip down to about circle one's edge.
See MJ here just pitching up. Good play here to get his par.
Oh, Matt. And Matt Hammersten, very deliberate on the green. He takes his time, he lines up his shot, and very solid putter.
Yourself here for birdie on the first hole. What's going through your mind?
Well, you see the step off. I like to employ that when I'm, not sure about what I'm doing. Just try to blank my mind and refocus. That is by far the closest I've been in 3 rounds on hole 1. So it was almost like too tantalizing.
Well, the rest of our card here. Tap in for par. And we're going to be on to hole 2. 380-foot par 3. This tree in the middle of the fairway here, the larger one that you see, you're going to either want to go right or left of. Personally, I like the left gap where I can throw a hyzer flip that then fades in front of the cluster of trees there on the right. Hopefully gets you inside the circle.
Yeah, handful of different approaches here. I like to go with, like you're saying, a hyzer flip. Take a very flippy disc on a steep hyzer and try to let it stand up. I think that's the cleanest way to play the gap.
And there you are, circle 1. Looking for another birdie.
Hammer goes with a faster disc. I think this is a D2. And gets himself circle 2, circle 1, somewhere in that vicinity.
MJ also taking that inside line there. Gonna go up a little short. He'll be just outside the circle.
And Matt hits the initial gap, but flips up a little bit too much. I should emphasize, this gap is not large.
No, this is a very tough hole. The 3 of you getting up there is honestly a little surprising to me.
Yeah, and Matt with a very good recovery shot. That should make a 3 in play.
And Matt trying to go stroke for you right away, knowing he needs to make this putt with you that close.
Yeah, very good pace and balance on his jump putts.
And that was a pretty tight tunnel there he putted through.
You got to work around a lot of things here. Like MJ gonna have to start Anheuser and the circle 2 dunk.
Another replay here for good reason. He gets it all the way across the basket and she sticks. It's a great putt.
Mm-hmm.
Yourself with virtually another tap in for birdie.
Yeah, soak them up while they come. It's not going to happen every day.
Yeah, if you're getting multiple birdie opportunities inside of 20 feet, you're very happy out here. And our card going 3 down on that overall is very impressive.
Yeah.
And we're on hole 3. 760-foot par 4. The initial gap we just flew through is what you want to get through. If you can get over this hill, you're going to have the best look down this tunnel, which I personally like to stay up to the right because down to the left it falls off a bit. But either way, it's going to be a tight, hard hole to get your birdie.
I'm going to go with a tracker, slightly overstable fairway driver, and that's a decent spot. It's going to take probably a strong mid-range from there. Hammer with a good shape, but slightly too low. So he'll have on the order of 400, 425 to go. Johansen Undertaker. And I think he's willing to let it fall off to the left. The left side's not too bad as long as you don't get all the way to the gap.
Yeah, if you're far left, you're longer, but you sometimes still have that straight approach through the gap. Dang, and Matt just catching the end of that first initial gap, and as you see, hyzering out with that.
Hammersten goes fairway driver and just kind of drifts it too far right. He might have been playing away from the left side, which can get hairy if you don't get all the way to the bucket.
Matt going with a roller? Oh, and it's going to get caught
Stop
up
dead.
on a rock or a root.
Yeah, just about the most open fairway here, and he still finds a rock.
Yeah, although the middle 2/4 of this hole are open, as you can see, this hole is very difficult. Not only with the green sloping away, but the initial gap you have to hit, but then the gap you have to hit on your approach shot.
Right, for sure. That's unforgivable.
Matt getting one up there for par. And you've kind of got a pitch out sidearm, it looks like. And as you see, it's pretty tough on that left side wood line. But you make easy work of that. What was your thought process on that one?
So you mentioned in your whole preview that you kind of want to stay up top, as you see Hammer playing to that right side, even for a slightly longer putt. On the second shot, I'm willing to go down in that valley and putt up at the basket. But thereafter, like, I want to be level.
Yeah.
So really trying to control the speed and make sure that the disc is back to a right finish at the end. Nicely done by Matt to clean up his par. Looks like we're all headed towards that. Couple of boring little tap-ins.
Everybody taking a par here. Overall, I would say a good score for the card. I would have thought we might have seen one birdie, and we're going to move on to hole 4. 675 feet. It's a par 4. Players are going to be throwing a shot that hopefully gets past these trees just before these, so then they have the easiest of approaches down this hallway. If you're short, though, it is a very tough approach.
We've seen some wind the first couple days of the tournament. As one of the more open holes on the course, you certainly feel it on this drive.
You're putting down a great roller there.
Oh, that's great.
It's going to turn over for you.
Yeah, it's a pretty flippy disc
Oh my goodness.
that stays cutty.
Wow. That got way down there.
Yeah, I've never been in that spot, Nick.
So here's a replay, folks. As you can see, once it hits the ground, it's pretty upright, but the speed it hits the ground with is the important part. It allows it to roll down the hill here and then just keep turning.
Yeah, that beats the landing zone, beats the gap. Dream shot.
Yeah, I mean, I would take that up shot all the time. Look at you in the background. He's loving it.
That's telling MJ what I felt like the wind was doing. Hammersten, F7 roller, and you see that thing just get beat up immediately. Drags right. But he throws it well, squirts by the catch cam.
Wow. Another one getting all the way down there?
Yeah.
These are very, very impressive throws, folks.
So that's going to leave Hammer in the neighborhood of 140 feet to the bucket.
That's a dream upshot. If you could drop your disc there all 3 rounds, you would.
Johansen, Scorch Anheuser, but that kind of gets killed by the wind.
Yeah, it was like not enough to roll and too much to throw a good turnover.
Matt Bell really liked the initial release, but it kind of just like got a wind drop partway through. MJ driver play, punches through the right side to circle 2 putt.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
That's a great look from back there, I would say, for birdie.
I think almost everybody's going to be attacking on the second shot here, pretty much regardless of where you land, because the real danger on the hole is it's not that far from the basket.
And Matt absolutely pipes that gap, getting to what looks like close to bullseye for his birdie.
Mm-hmm. Forehand flex to the ditch. Nothing wrong with that. And I'm reading right to left crosswind.
Oh, so you're what, 90 feet?
75 maybe.
Get up. Oh, wow. The eagle? Way to start your round. And replay for good measure. Look at that. That was a no-doubter. Right side.
It's been years since I've had a real eagle. I'm pretty impressed with myself there, especially since that right to left doesn't usually agree with the way I like to putt. MJ,
You're
a good
getting out
honest
to an
bid.
early lead here, a 4-stroke lead now.
Hammersten to cut that to 3. Yeah, but I've played with Hammer quite a bit. This is my third round with him, and I can tell that his game plan is evolving on his first trip to Iron Hill. So I know that he's going to be deliberate. I know he's not going to put himself in trouble spots very often. So I kind of have to match that.
And here we are at hole 5, 780 foot, par 5. Players are going to want to land anywhere from about here to just past this short tee pad on the left, to then throw a second to about in this area here, to hopefully get up and down for your birdie. It's a lot easier said than done, and let's see how these guys attack it. So you're 4 down through 4. Are you going for extra here, or are you just trying to do the same game plan?
It's the same game plan. I want to throw a fairway driver to land somewhere in the middle, and then pretty much just go fairway, fairway, fairway. If I do that, I feel confident in a birdie opportunity. But I let the disc leak right. Hammersten with a great correction, F7 shot.
He's going to like where he landed there,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it looks like he's got good footing.
Yeah, center cut.
This
Matt.
hole's tough where if you land in the very center of the fairway, you're almost in that runoff drainage ditch,
Yeah.
and you don't have good footing.
They've worked really hard here to figure out how to control runoff, because as players have played and fairways have gotten compacted, that's been the most attractive place for water to funnel to. So you can kind of see on here, hole 10, a few others, that they're trying to solve it.
And we appreciate that as golfers. It's always good to have important footing.
Yeah, when you've got a 10,000 foot course with multiple layouts and a busy town, bump. Like
a little tree love there.
Oh my goodness, it was a tough stance with a shank job and put back in the middle of the fairway. It's really important to have a group of locals who commit to that. You know, if all you do is play, but you're not helping on the course, you know, you're not really being that part of the community. And that can be, you know, running events, that can be picking up trash, that can be installing drainage structures.
Oh, this looks good.
Yeah, same disc, same flight, perfect shot.
Two great spots to be on this hole.
Matt got a ways up here. I'm reasonably sure he wasn't trying to play that tiny gap.
He looked like he was really going for that one. It's gonna give him a good kick back out into the fairway though.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
You continue to chip along the fairway there.
I think that was probably a little bit too aggressive an attempt.
It looked like you were giving it the mustard.
Yeah. Trying to throw a big flex and get a birdie look out of it, and I pay for it by running to the right side.
But look at this forehand out of there. You're a magician today so far.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I had a decent gap, but kind of had to hit a square about 80 feet out of my hand.
I mean, in previous rounds we've talked about this, that, you know, you can script your 18 tee shots, but once you get down these holes, most days it's going to be different.
Yeah, for certain. And that's the beauty of par 4 and 5 golf, right?
Yeah.
Matt did a good job to get himself on top. He'll have a look at a 4. MJ up to a putt as well. And Hammersten back to that forehand flex approach.
Oh, wow.
He's found something he likes with that disc and doing it well.
That was close. About threw it in.
If you watched our round 2 coverage, you saw Matt Hammersten chip in a little forehand for his 4 on this very hole. You can watch for chase card coverage from Gatekeeper Media coming out fairly soon. No doubter from MJ. Just high and center.
Was that outside the circle?
It got there in a hurry. I think it was outside the circle, but it didn't look like it.
Yeah, that was a good putt.
Matt's going to be kicking himself over that. Rarely see him 3-putt. Hammer digs in, finds his stance, focuses. And center. I think he's very good about following that routine.
Yeah, getting a routine and sticking to it is very important on the putting green, I would say.
Yeah. What do you do to develop that, Nick?
I think you need to do what's natural and comfortable for you, but also have it within an understanding of you want it to be, you know, not too long, and, you know, it's something that just comes natural, I would say.
Sure.
Here we are at hole 6, 625 feet. It's a par 4. I would say this is the gap that is mostly used here up on the right side. Players are going to want to get to here, to then hopefully have either a turnover or a side iron approach. It is a little uphill on your approach, I would say.
Hammersten straight down the gap. Beats the second layer of trees. He will be looking directly at the basket. That's key.
And he's going to get one back on you on this last hole, bringing it back to a 2-stroke lead for you.
Yeah, I think it's still too early to really be thinking about that. It's nice to have a little cushion, but, I mean, don't be fooled. Johansen is still in play as well.
I would agree with that. I mean, any hole out here you can, birdie or double bogey per se.
Yeah, if you don't hit your gaps and you go left, like a 2-stroke swing could be imminent. And Bell gets full flight, but a little too much rightward drift. It's hard to say what he's going to have in there.
Is that a thumber roller?
Just a forehand roller. Entire objective was get positive yards to the right side.
You look like you put yourself in a pretty good spot there to get up and down for par.
Yeah. Can't ask for a whole lot more from Tangled on the left. Matt with a little difficulty getting out. Johansen just...
Peering the skinny
This
gab.
is amazing. This is just amazing to me.
Absolutely peered the skinny gab.
I think it's the right game plan decision. If you hit one of those, Johansen's good enough to get up and down. But it was perfectly centered on his small gap. Hammer, D2 forehand onto the green. That's nicely done, setting himself up for another birdie look.
Bell with a cut roller, maybe inside circle 2.
Matt's so creative. He's not getting the play he wants on this hole, but I just like his willingness to go to any shot at any time if he thinks it's going to get him a look.
There's a good circle edge putt from Matt to save bogey.
And my upshot left something to be desired, specifically about 25 feet.
How much is that tree in your way there?
It's enough that getting out to the right is important. Not even quite a straddle stance, but the additional extension of the knee.
And there's a good putt from you to save par.
Yeah, that feels big.
And Hammersten here with the opportunity to gain another stroke and take a birdie.
Center.
Yeah, his putt is looking really good today, and that's going to be 3 in a row for him.
Yeah, and 5 out of 6. We've kind of spoken before about how you want to get your scoring done on the front 9 because the back is significantly harder to do so.
And he's doing just that. We're on to hole 7, 370 feet. It's a par 3. It's mainly downhill. Most right-hand players are going to choose the forehand if it is a shot they have in the bag. You, however, were saying you could go dead straight and be inside the circle. Was that correct?
Yeah, if you go pin high straight, it leaves you about a 25-footer. Like it is an optical illusion about how right players think you have to go. Hammer with a decent shape but too low with the M4. Johansen's going to go Comet.
No surprise there.
No. He plays the steep hyzer flip, but that's trailing over the short basket. Nice little bump out to probably a circle 2 look.
And most of our players actually choosing backhand today, which is surprising to me.
I like to go steep hyzer flip. That's kind of what Mike Moser, the Delaware Deucer, has shown as a viable option. Matt goes forehand. Backhands win the day, I guess, Nick.
They do. Looks like Matt got chopped down about the short pin.
You see that cluster of rocks behind where Hammersten's head is. There's a short basket that's located on top of those rocks. Just really neat use of features at this course without being, tacky and egregious about it. MJ has a clean line. He's aggressive.
Oh. At least it sat, but man, that was a good run. Looks like you got a pretty obstructed look there. Did you have much?
It was a little blocked off.
Looked like you almost threw kind of a spike hyzer putt at it.
Yeah, I think in order to make it, it was going to induce too much risk going by that set of small trees. So, honest look, but not overdoing it. Hammer's comeback par look. Once again, good. Damage minimized. And some greenskeeping. Thank you. We're going to walk away with a bunch of 3s and 1-4 on the hole. And that kind of happens. You saw on hole 2 we got 3 birdies. This one, 3 pars.
We're on to hole 8, our second par 5, 780 feet. First shot's going to want to land about here. It is uphill a majority of the way until you get about here where it becomes flat. If you can get past to about here or so, you're going to have a good look to get up and down for your birdie. Once again, very tight fairway.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm expecting to see a lot of hyzer releases with flippy discs from this card. Just trying to land somewhere in the rocks near the top of the hill. Hammer, a little too left side, but not punished too badly. He gets all the way up there. Johansen with a mantis. Nicely done. And I'm trying to do about the same thing with an Undertaker, but I let it go too right and don't pay for it at all.
Very good kick and good spot to be on this hole.
Mm-hmm. Matt goes somewhat faster, but same idea. Goes further, still on the left side of the fairway.
There's almost a point, though, if you push and, fade out too much, it's almost a waste of using that faster disc if it doesn't keep flipping for you.
Yeah, no doubt. The right side of the fairway is very preferable here. If you're too far and too left, it just doesn't stack up well.
Then it starts to like slope away. So if you do miss a couple of the trees in the first like part of the rough, you're in trouble.
Yeah, the goal is to play hole 13 after hole 12, not during hole 8. Trying to play bendy forehand and do just enough on that to push up the right side.
These par 4s and 5s really make it tricky where your second shot is in a similar area to here where, you know, there's rocks everywhere and you don't really have the opportunity to do a run-up a lot of times.
Yeah, and I know some players have complained about that, but like that's what the course is. The course is going to make you have to... It's going to make you do some weird stuff.
And we have MJ throwing here next.
And he's probably blind to the basket because he's standing kind of below a shelf, but it's a relatively straight approach with a Comet.
Be inside the circle there.
Matt Anheuser release forehand to try to pan out. Doesn't quite do that enough. Still at circle's edge.
He's still in bell range.
Mm-hmm. Which is, in my opinion, infinite. Hammer with a nice
Wow.
upshot.
Great upshot
Yeah,
from back there.
That's great. He should be able to save his par. I see that. I like the gap. Run it to the left side.
The touch forehand at this course is a must-have in the bag.
Absolutely. Wow. Nicely done by Matt.
You could just tell when that was out of his hands, it was in. Replay for good reason, and what a good putt.
Yeah. High in the chains, still elevating. Like there's nothing uncommitted about the way he throws that putt.
Getting back on track after a couple bogeys.
MJ in for his 4. Nicely done. Talking about routines, mine kind of goes in and out where I try to ask my subconscious what I need at any given time. But it ultimately comes down to like finding feet and putting the disc in there. Like that's what a putt has to do.
Looked like a good stroke from you there. Getting your first birdie in a while.
Yeah, I don't like seeing that much gray on my own scorecard here.
Yeah, it's okay here. You know, you're scoring early. You haven't taken any strokes in the other direction, at least.
Yeah.
Hole 9, 550-foot par 4. This gap we're flying here, if you can get past here, you can basically throw a putter and throw one again. But you're going to have to throw it on this gap as well for your second to get down there for a birdie. A very difficult 2-shot hole. You look to have early release there.
No, I don't think so. I think I just over-hyzered the disc. I want to start it down the left side so that it's got plenty of time to break right. Matt's kind of doing the same thing with a faster disc. I feel like I've said Matt's doing the same thing with a faster disc 11 times every round. But the left kick isn't terrible here because there is another fairway in play from the short tee. Hammer with a butter mid-range shot. Nice little bounce out.
A little kick and unfortunate. And a gap you did have. Getting all the way inside the circle. Great shot.
I say don't count on this. This is 360 feet to play the left side drift.
I mean, he beat the middle tree and turned after it, so I feel like that's a pretty good line there, sir.
Yeah, I'm thrilled. Johansen trying to follow exactly the same way. And he actually improves on it.
Wow. You guys are making this hole look easy after I was saying it was hard.
I mean, sometimes it only takes one good shot. We both got cut down a little early on the drive. Matt from deep left side, able to throw the flex forehand, which is a sensible way.
Also getting it inside the circle.
And hammer to use the right side. Once again, a look. Oh, wow.
So close. MJ getting his birdie. You here for yours. Doing a little extra stretching. Are you maybe a little tight this round?
No. The like hamstring stretch is a reminder to get my weight onto my front foot.
Okay. Okay.
And one of the oddities of disc golf here, the 3 worst drives are going to birdie. Hammer with the center cut drive is going to par. So as we close out, Fish with a little bit of a lead, 3 strokes, but Hammersten, Johansen, and potentially the chase card still in contention. We thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe to Gatekeeper Media, and support their hard work. Join us on the back nine. For Gatekeeper Media, I'm Andrew Fish, joined by Nick Hanson.
Thanks, folks, and we'll see you on the back.